early Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Give me a second while I get this to come up on my laptop and then go to live chat. You cannot hear me. That's good as far as you don't hear me twice, is what I mean. Yeah, Sharon, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was supposed to be 6 p.m., 7 p.m. your time. However, this afternoon I had to change that because I kind of got pulled away from what I was doing. Um, I got to figure something out because this past week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I literally like worked until like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And so nothing else got done. I am like so far behind, you know, this past Thursday, Thursday of last week, and the Christmas card inspiration, which that's going to be easy peasy because I decided that I am going to incorporate some of those Christmas kits that are actually still available. So I will be, let me just kind of fix this. So I will be using the Common Bright kit for my May Christmas card inspiration. And then next month it's going to be that one with the old red truck. I don't remember the name of it. So I'm going to make it easy on myself. And yeah, so I got some catching up to do, and yes, so when we were celebrating our birthdays, Yvonne, Terry, and myself, I thought, hey, we were going to be like queens for the day or the evening. So I decided to get us all like a tiara. I got them off of Amazon, which was not bad price wise for what this looks like. And none of this is plastic. This is all metal. And the little clip on for the little kid for the little girls for birthday parties that I got at Hobby Lobby, yeah, those are gonna go back. I found these are better. So I thought with it being Mother's Day tomorrow, why not have a little bling and sparkly? Because I tell you what, I I'm not feeling so blingy and all that. And I'll kind of explain a little bit about that in a moment. But anyway, so with everything going on, it was just literally today was when I was designing this stuff. And for next week, I have no choice in the matter but to do my live on Friday. I can't, Saturday's not an option because Saturday, my friend, and this is why time was taken away today, um, we're having a memorial for her mom. We were going to do it back in February. However, that was when we had all the bad weather and there was ice and all that in Middle Tennessee and Nashville and all that. So it got postponed until next Saturday. And so I'm helping my friend out with doing the slideshow, with the music and the order of service programs, doing all that to help her out. So we were just kind of discussing that today, and then tomorrow at church we're going to be discussing it a little bit more with my pastor. So that way we know we can get things done and not stress and worry and all that, because lately I'll tell you what, I have been stressing just a little bit. And I just want to say, when I mention it, I don't know how I want to react to what I was told. So but yeah, so next Friday is definitely gonna be the live. I can't do it on Saturday because Saturday I'll be helping and doing a little bit of cooking. Then we got to get things kind of set up at the church. And then the service or the memorial is going to be like around noontime. And then after that's all said and done, then I have to kind of tidy up a little bit. However, the youth are actually doing something that night too. So we'll see how things go. I mean, I'll do what I can and make it look decent for Sunday, but when people are coming in after the fact, then I can't help that. Also, even the following weekend, um, there's my pastor's son is getting married, and so I am going to be going to. I'm just going to go to the wedding part. I'm not going to stay for the reception, but definitely I need to just kind of really get things caught up and done. And I'm kind of hoping that tomorrow I can get a chunk done, and then next week I'm just going to try to do the best that I can to get things going. So, I was mentioning about news that I got. Hello, Deborah. So, what was it on Good Friday? So that day I took off from work and I had made a doctor's appointment because on my leg, there's a spot. It's kind of reddish and um, I just wanted to get it checked out. And so I just wanted to make sure, it wasn't a blood clot or anything, which it wasn't. It turns out that I got venous status dermatitis, which, big word, what does it mean? That just means that I have excess fluid in my tissues. So I got to put a cream on that. Yeah, then they did blood work and then went and, and did all the vitals. And of course, the first time I went, didn't get much sleep. Yvonne was here. She can vouch for this, that I didn't get much sleep. I try to drink as much water as I can, but when you go out, I don't drink a lot. Yeah, where is she? You know what? She kind of responded late to the email that I sent that said it was going to be at 7. She could be eating dinner, or she could have forgot. I don't think she'd be napping at this time. But anyway, so, you know, told me they did all this blood work and then there were some things that were high and whatever. So it meant that put cream on this leg, take a diuretic, and put on compression socks, which, I do not like those, but now I got no choice. I have to. So then let's talk about what happened on Wednesday when I had my follow-up appointment. Well, again, blood pressure was a little bit better, and I got sleep. I wasn't nervous, and it was better, but it was still high. Then we decided that with all these tests that now we were going to do a blood work and urine and all that, yeah, now it turns out that my A1C was high. On top of that, let's see, we prescribed the medication that I'm really, really hoping that my coverage is going to cover, because without insurance, you're talking about a 3-month supply being like $1,200. No. Then I got to take something because now evidently my cholesterol's high. Yeah, I got a message through this My Chart app from the doctor saying, yep, A1C was high. So then basically told me take, um, how high was it? Mm, do I want to say it was 12 point something, which according to their scale was high. Um, Then, oh yeah, then we told me, let's see, so with blood pressure, not only am I taking this medication, Synjardy HR, which I'm sorry, those things are horse pills. And I took, yeah, and see, here is the thing that I'm trying to understand. I feel totally fine, totally fine. And to tell me that, let's see, A1C is high, so now I'm labeled diabetic. Then my cholesterol was high. Oh, blood pressure is high. I wonder if living here doesn't have something to do with it. But anyway, so now it's like there's medication for all of that, and one of them is um is a statin, and you best believe that going forward, and Yvonne's not on here yet, but one of her recommendations that she said that actually I don't have a problem with, she mentioned about a Mediterranean diet. I can do that. I'm all for like hummus and tabbouleh and all that kind of stuff. But oh yeah, and drinking plenty of water. I just don't get it and understand, because I'll tell you what, why are these things so high? I'm not eating, when it comes to bread, potatoes, rice, all that starchy stuff. I hardly eat that. Every once in a while, when I have my coffee, okay, I add maybe a tablespoon of what is it, pure cane sugar to it. I will not use the artificial stuff. I just will not. I don't, when it comes to like soda, well, I don't drink soda. My soda is like those sparkling waters that don't have the sodium, the sugar, or the colors or anything artificial in it. That's what I would drink on top of water. Now, since my first appointment back in April, we figured that this big jug right here holds approximately 60 ounces of water, and I drink at least two of those a day. I don't understand. But all I know is that I have a treadmill in there. It's no longer going to be a clothes rack. It's going to be used. And yes, I do not want to be on any prescription medication. I do not. And I'm going to do what I can to get off of it, because that's Sinjardi stuff. Oh my gosh, the little, um you know how they'll put like a whole description of it, and then some side effects, things like that on it. I kid you not, the thing is rolled up and it's like this thick in the little sample box that she had given me. And oh my gosh, the thing is like this thick, and you open it up and it's huge, and it tells you all these different side effects with it. And I'll tell you what, yesterday I took my first one in the morning with something to eat. Hours later, oh my gosh, my stomach cramped up really bad. I just felt really like horrible. I mean, it passed, but mm-mm, I don't like any of this. And of course, before I went live, it turned out I had a message in that my chart, and that was the doctor saying, okay, yep, A1C high, diabetes, take the medication as, as prescribed, and then tells me my cholesterol's high, it's okay, take the medication as prescribed, and just one thing after another, and I just, and the thing too is, you can't go without eating either, because a friend of mine, her mom, she's always so busy working, that actually by not eating can cause you to get diabetes. And she had to go on medication because of it. So you can't not eat, you have to eat, and then you got to figure out what to eat that's not going to spike it. And hmm, so that's kind of the stuff that's been going on around here, especially this past week. So a whole lot of stuff. And I just need to kind of focus, and I need to just really get things done, and just push myself through, because when we get near the end of the day, I kind of start to feel like I want to shut down, and then any mojo that's just up and gone. So I have to figure something out, because I can't keep you know rescheduling these for another day and all that. There's got to be a way to make it easier. I mean, I cut a lot of stuff out, extra stuff that I was doing. Um, and, it's not like I can just say, I'm not going to do it no more, because you guys keep coming back, even on Thursdays, I get so much feedback about, doing Thursdays, because again, we see how Stampin' Up! Retires their stuff or discontinues their stuff as fast as they've gotten them. So, yeah, so there is that. Let's see. So, yeah, Sharon was here early. Yeah, a little bit earlier. And Froggy, she just finished putting her embellishments on some Christmas cards. Basically, I got so many Christmas cards, I don't need to even make any more. I have enough for even next year. Um, okay. All right. Oops, this whole thing just totally like jumped on me. Let's see. And we got the custom card maker here. So Terry, have you done another? I don't think you've done another video yet, because I didn't see a notification, but yeah, I still have to, what do you call it, give you some of the tips for when you set up your video so your orientation will be good. Let's see. There's Sharon and Carol. We got Avery as well. Let's see. And Deborah's here. Okay, Avery is here. And let's see. Let's keep scrolling. Yeah. Yeah. That's what's depressing, Terry, is that, you know, I try to eat better. I mean, yeah, I just don't. To be honest with you, they always ask you that, have you been feeling depressed and all that. Well, I think the next time I go back, which is going to be like in 3 months, and they ask me that question, I'm going to be yes, because of all this medication. Yes, yes, I am. Um, but so okay, so Deborah asked if it was um fasting blood work. So I think the latest that I had eaten anything was just before 8 o'clock the night before. So I had not eaten anything. The only thing I had was water. I even had some water before I left. Again, when I got there, it was, again, I was not stressed out like I was the first time. So yeah, it was the same thing the last time. They didn't, I figured they probably would have done blood work, but I didn't eat, late, so yeah, I was fasting at that point too. Um, Let me see. Um, you're a bad influence, Terry? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, Yvonne is. I don't know if she's here. But I know she'll watch. I'll know she'll watch later. No, but I have um what do you call it? Um yeah. Welcome, Susan. Nice for you to join us. You're from Florida. Um Ooh, Terry, how are you still awake? Triple shift. Um, okay, let's see. See. Okay, so I think I have gotten everybody. Yvonne's not here, but I have told Yvonne that we both need to do better. So I told her when it comes to meals and all that, not that I am looking to go like full blown vegan, but there's this woman, if I can remember her name, she did she did a video where she made a vegan version of, what is it, Taco Bell's, what is it, their crunch wrap, and it looked really really good. Now I wouldn't go to the extent of doing like vegan cheese and all that, um but it looked really good. And I got her cookbook, which is like this thick and this big, and so I like to try some of those recipes in there. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to now throw in another thing about, having to make a lot of stuff from scratch, not eating the stuff that, that, and here's the kicker. Here's a kicker on that. So she said, when you eat like the processed foods, the pre-made stuff, that, you got to be careful and watch for the sodium levels because they're typically high. Yeah, out of everything that was tested, guess what? My sodium was a little low. Okay. So I don't think that's an issue. I don't use a lot of salt on anything. And down here in the South, they love their sugar and they love their salt. That, yeah. I, I don't do a lot of either one of those. So, all right. So, with all of that, I did, like I said, today I worked on everything that we are doing tonight. The first card, which was actually the last card that I was starting to run out of time, um, I feel like there could be more to it, but like I said, I ran out of time, and we'll see. Maybe I can come up with something to like spruce it up a little bit more. Okay, so what I am going to do right now is I'm going to take this, I'm going to flip it. Just a couple of things. Hold on. Let me pull out all the stuffs that I printed out, and let me go ahead and flip this, and we will bring this down a little bit and make sure that we're straight. And I really do love that tiara, but man, that thing digs into your head. Whew. Okay, so let me just make sure that we are good here, that we're straight and we're level. Let's check that out really quick. Yeah, so Terry, some of those little tips and all that. Now, when you did your video, did you do it through your phone or did you do it through a camera? Because I know, like, when it comes to the orientation, that that's something that you have to uh oh, for one pill, no, it's one pill a day, and it's 90 days worth. Yeah, but that's the cost of it if you have no insurance. The other medications, actually, there's no cost. They're covered. So I think just because of this particular medication that, yeah, they have to, the pharmacy has to get approval from the insurance company. So the last time I checked earlier today, yeah, it was kind of still sitting there, pending. So what was my A1C? It was, I think like 12.3 or 12.5. Either way, 12 was, from the scale that they had, was yeah, it was up there. I don't understand the numbers. I don't understand the numbers, when it comes to your blood pressure. I don't know. Now, stress and everything else, I let's chalk that up to, what I deal with when I live here between upstairs and across the breezeway from me. If they would leave, maybe I'd do better. Or maybe if I just go into a house, I would feel better with no neighbors on top of me. Let's put it that way. Unless I like you. If I like you, then I don't have a problem with it. Okay. All right. So you did do it through your phone. Okay. All right. Yeah, I gotta send you some of those little tips, things on how to set it up before you go. Um, you're moving upstairs. Okay. I know that you will be yeah. Yeah, you would either be at work or you'd be sleeping or you'd be crafting or you'd be down here crafting, right? Yeah, okay. So let's get this going because we've been about a half an hour here, just me and Okay, so we are now into another month. It is now May. Next thing you know, it will be December and we'll be talking about Christmas. Um, Hold on, what is Deborah saying? Here's a price shock for you. Each treatment I do now every 21 days, I am calling um Ferrari juice price tag. Okay, that price tag, are you saying it's $80.89 or are you saying 80,890? That see all of this is ridiculous. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to be on any prescription medication. This is why I got to get off of the stuff that now wow that they've put me on because in my opinion, and this is what happens whenever I see those stupid commercials, is like, okay, you can be taking a medication to take care of one issue, but guess what? Those medications are going to end up causing other issues. So that's why I need to do what I need to do just to get off of this stuff because I do not want to be long term on any of this stuff at all. I will go through Pinterest, I will Google it, I will do whatever to find what things to eat, what things to do, and yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, Froggy, it is screwed up. And it's all about greed is what it comes down to, and it's ridiculous. All right, so uh new month, new product of the month. This month actually printed out two things for it, so then that way you can see the prints a little bit better. So for this month, it's the Berry Botanical Vellum. In this, there's colors of Bubble Bath, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, Golden Glow, Hydrangea Hue, Misty Moonlight, Peaceful Pine, Soft Seafoam, and Strawberry Slush. So you get 12 sheets. You get three of each of these four single-sided designs. Again, product of the month. When I speak dollars, just know that I'm speaking, for the U.S. So for every $75 that you spend, well, when you spend 70, not for every, but when you spend $75, and that is after you've applied any Stampin' Rewards and before the tax and the shipping is added onto it, you can choose the product of the month for $5. You do need to click now in the shop in your shopping cart. Up at the top, there is a banner, and it will let you know when you kind of have reached that threshold. You do need to click on that. You do need to click on the product itself, and then you need to add that to your cart. It won't automatically add. And again, it'll be here in the US it's $5. I think now for Canada, I think it's now $7. They had like a typo, I think, when they did the catalog, and it said $5, so they honored that. I think they said they were honoring that through April before the new catalog had gone live. So, yeah, so right now, as far as I know, the only other product of the month that's still available is the April Eyelet Blooms dies. So the stamps, so everything else we've had since December has now sold out, so they're no longer available. If you now there is a limit on product of the month of one per person. So if April was one that you didn't get, you can still get it because it's still available. At least I think it's still available. I didn't get a chance to look in the past few hours, but yeah, so that's what's still available with product of the month. Stampin' Up also has a joining special that goes from May 5th through the 31st, and they have two new starter kit offers. So when you join Stampin' Up from May 5th through the 31st, you'll get the new 2026 to 2028 in color classic Stampin' pads free. It says these five new on-trend colors are not only fresh and fun, they also come in our new case that closes with a secure magnetic seal and stacks smoothly. So if um, and again, with these ink pads, not only we're actually going to be using one of them in the projects to as my it's the first card that I'm doing. Uh, what was I going to say? These are the same style ink pads that Close to My Heart was using. And so now Stampin' Up has, they're going to slowly go to all of these. They started with the new 26 to 28 in colors in this new style. The all the other ones, I think, what did they say? Was it in 2028, I think? That they're going to be doing a color refresh, and at that time that's when the current ink pad styles that we have right now are going to then go into these new styles. Now the only thing is with these new styles, it's like it's all great and wonderful. However, they're also more expensive than the ones we currently have. I think they're like $5 more. So it's yeah, so it's one of those things that yeah, it's I don't know. Um you know what? To be honest with you, I don't this one is not a generic. Actually, I don't think there is a generic for this one. I don't think it's available for this particular medication anyway. Let's see. Um, oh, when a patent ends, okay. Du- 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 du. I'm just reading these comments. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Um, so this is one choice that you do have. So you can it's for here in the US, the price of the starter kit is $99 plus tax. The shipping is free. You get to choose $125 in product of your choosing. Uh, the in color pads you do not um, you have two different options. So you don't have to actually add these. You just choose the starter kit if you want the ink pads. Now, if you don't want the ink pads, the other option is that you can choose an additional $35 worth of product in your starter kit instead. So those are the two options on there. If you have Any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I don't have anything in my description right now. That is going to be forthcoming. I'm going to try and get that done tonight, hopefully, because I got a lot of other things I got to get caught up on. So I'm going to really try and get that taken care of, and there'll be links in there. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Now, if you're reaching out to me and you're in another country, I can recommend other demonstrators that would be in your market. Um, but again, when you start talking about the price of things, what's here in the US is not the same as what's in Canada or in any of the other countries. There is a new craft class that is coming out. It's called Paper Mixer. What they're going to be doing with this class, the primary designer series paper that they're going to use is called Paper Medley Mix In. And then they're going to use, I believe there's like 3 other additional designer series papers that they're going to use with it. There's just a little sneak peek of some of the projects that they're doing. Now, I did purchase this. Whatever was needed as far as supplies, I've ordered those as well. The class, I believe, what was the price of this class? I don't even have it written down. I didn't even write it down. Do I want to say, hold on. Well, please, let me just log in and I can let you know because it's right there on the first page. So the craft class, so the cost of it here in the US is $30. In Canada, it's 41. Um, you again, you were they're using like primarily it is the Paper Medley Mix In Designer Series paper. So this is new paper that is in the new catalog. And then there's going to be 3 additional types of paper that they're going to use along with it. Let's see. Um, this class, it is available for both demonstrators and customers. It was available to purchase on May 5th. The live stream for this is going to be on May 21st at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And I think that day is an actual work day, but a lot of times I don't. I go back and I'll watch the replay on these things. It will be in an exclusive Facebook group. What else? And then, of course, if you didn't make it when they did the live, then the video will also be on demand. I do not believe that the video will end up on YouTube because I think one of the classes, when they went and did that, somebody went and shared it, and it's technically it was listed as unlisted, so only those that had paid for it were had access to it. So everything is like on a private Facebook group. So again, this is just came out and it's still available. Then Stampin' Up! Is doing a demonstrator only event called Creativity Now. They're going to be doing this on August 8th. And if you're a demonstrator or you become a demonstrator, the registration for this opened up on May 5th and it'll go through the 26th. The cost of this is $35. It will have, let me go back. For this, they have some products. Now, these products, I'm not 100% sure. They may end up in an online exclusive at some point, or it could come up in a future catalog. But with this, again, here in the US, it's $35. It's not listing what it costs in Canada. So the registration opens May 5th. The last day to register is May 26th. It's all virtual. There is product. There's a stamp set that is exclusive to this, so you get that free when you register. And then there is more product. So there's a 12 by 12 designer series paper, there's some embellishments, there's a stamp set, a die, and then there's also some specialty paper in there as well. So the ordering period for that will be from June 2nd to July 17th. And then, of course, the event will be on August 8th. So I have done these creativity nows in the past, and they're fun. You know, you're getting to play with some new product. Again, there's one stamp set that's exclusive to this, but looking at the other product, it's actually pretty cool. And even the paper, I mean, the colors, the design, very cool. So, and then there's like some specialty paper, a textured canvas. So, it looks like it's going to be fun. They said that they're going to be the projects that are going to be made for this. There's going to be a card. There's going to be a 6 by 8 scrapbook spread, a banner, and a gift card holder. So that is what creates, again, this is demonstrator only. So if you currently are a demonstrator, um, again, registration's open. If you join Stampin' Up and, you know, with that starter kit special, yeah, as long as it's been, well, as long as it's by the 26th of May, you can register for this as well. Last chance products, there's still stuff in there, some things that have been discounted. This won't be updated again until next month. Paper pumpkin, the today's the 9th, so tomorrow it will be the last day. If you want to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin and get this Sparkling Celebrations kit, once it hits the 11th, then the subscription period opens up for the Bikes and Blooms kit. So now Paper Pumpkin is available in all our markets. It's not just North America. So when I get my kit, what I do is I do like an unboxing. I create at least one of each of the projects in it, and yeah. So when I get my kit, usually it's about 3/4 of the way towards the end of the month when I get my kit. So keep an eye out for that. Also, as a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, there are also some coordinating add-on dies that you can purchase. Again, you need to be a subscriber in order to get these. These dies, this one is called the Wonderful Scenes dies. They coordinate with the April, May, and June kits. You do not need the dies to create the projects in the kits. These are just if you want to do some alternative items. And then that was a description of that. And then here is the May through August 2026 catalog. And I can now do this. Until this thing went live, you couldn't open up the catalog online. One of the things that for demonstrators during, oh, by the way, this suite right here is what we're going to be doing next week. I kind of got mixed up. I thought I was doing it this week, but no, it's next week. Um, so one of the items, so everything that was in this catalog was available for demonstrators to pre-order. That's one of the perks of being a demonstrator. You can not only get your stuff at a discount, but you can also pre-order before the catalog goes live. So I wanted to show, I mean, there's a picture right there, but so one of the things that wasn't available when we did our pre-order were these shimmer brushes. So the shimmer brushes, kind of think of them as Winkostella, but each one of them has, they come in the new in colors. So it's not a very pale pigmented shimmer. I mean, it's a pretty bold shade of the color. So these, when the catalog went live on the 5th, the brushes did become available. So mention that. And then one other thing I do want to make mention, because I did get these, And we're not used to like our color collection papers being 12 by 12. They're usually, you know, 6 by 6. So one of the things that I was going to do with this paper, I was going to split it with Yvonne. However, the color collections, the subtles, the regals, the brights, um, let's see, neutrals, basics, there's less in there. Two each of 6, maybe. The thing is with these colors, you're getting one sheet of each. So you got one sheet on one side that has like the big stripes, and then the other side has the thinner ones, and then another sheet that has the big dots, and then the other side has the little dots on it. So you're only getting like one of each. You're not getting two of each. So I want to make mention of that. But if you get the in color, the 2026 to 2028, you are actually getting two sheets each. So I could split that one up, and I think the basics, you just have basic beige, basic black, and very vanilla in it. So I think you're also getting two, yeah, you're getting two each of 6 double-sided designs on that. So if you are not working with another demonstrator, you're here in the US and you would like a paper copy of this catalog, again, later on I will have all my description stuff out there below this video. Um, my email will be there. Just simply reach out to me and let me know that you would like one, and I'll be more than happy to get it sent out to you. Now, let me get that stuff out of the way. Let me show you what we are using. So, we are using the Valley in Bloom. Valley in Bloom. So, so earlier, what was in no, the January to April mini catalog, we had the cutest bugs, and in there was one image in the stamp set that had this little lily of the valley. I love Lily of the Valley, so I was completely stoked when I saw that now we got a whole suite that is dedicated to Lily of the Valley. So this was definitely something that was top on my list that I wanted to get. So in this suite, there is some designer series paper, so really nice, bright, pretty designs on here. One side you have, and then more like a background on the other side. Now this isn't a specialty paper. There's no foil or anything in it. So you have this pattern right here, which that one would be good for scrapbooking. There is another pattern right here that's almost similar to it, except the design goes all the way around. I'm actually using this on one of the cards that I'm doing tonight, so you can actually cut this up as panels for your card base, and just really pretty designs. And in this paper, the colors in here are Basic Beige, Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, Darling Duckling, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Lemon Lime Twist, and Pretty Peacock. In addition to that, there is this other specialty paper in it. It's called Luxe White 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper. And basically, it's white. So it is all white, but there's like this pearlized, like the designs on here are pearlized. And so this would be nice paper to do like your embossed resist with your blending brushes. So there's the pattern that has the Lily of the Valley on it, and then the other pattern. How many sheets are in here? There's a total of 6 sheets, so you get 2 of each pattern. And then the other pattern is kind of like these hash marks. And so they are single-sided, so we are, as you can see, being that this is cut, we are using that paper. Is actually going to be in our first card, the one that I was in a big rush to get done, and I just feel I need something else, and you'll see what I'm saying when I show it to you. Also in the suite, there's the Lily of the Valley bundle. So now that we have this new packaging, the dies in the stamp set packaging is the same size. So in this one package, I have my set of stamps, and then I took the dies out of the other one and I put it together in with the stamp set. So my dies and my stamps are together. So there is that. Then there is this really big 3D floral spray 3D embossing folder. So you got your big flower here in the center and some other little flowers, and then you have your lily of the valley on the sides of it. So I did use this. Whenever there's a suite, I try to use all of the components in the suite when I do my videos. Okay, and then the last thing that's to the suite, these are the shimmering dots. So you have some white ones, kind of like an iridescent white. This, I don't think this tells you the colors. Um, where's the embellishments? I don't think they do. If you wanted the colors, I think you find it online. They used to put the colors in here, but now I can't find it. So, but I'm guessing from what the suite has, they got Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, Pretty Peacock, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, and Lemon Lime Twist. So I'm guessing white, Granny Apple Green, and Coastal Cabana. So really pretty bright, sparkly, iridescent dots. And that's everything that's part of this suite. So with that, I got my ruler because again, I didn't get a chance yet to do all my dimensions. All right, so my card. First card. So we're using a new ink on this card. We are using Peaceful Pine. So Peaceful Pine is just, it's a really nice green. To describe it, I want to say, a lighter version of Evening Evergreen. I think I would like to say that's what it's close to. So it's a nice, soft, dark green. It would be a great green for when you're doing Christmas cards. So for my card base, it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Then I have a piece of basic white that's 5.25 by 4. This is for the inside, and let me get my chat like down to where we're let's see. Ooh. Is Peaceful Pine a darker version of Just Jade? One moment. Just Jade. So this is Just Jade. So Just Jade is it's brighter. Um do I want to say that Just Jade looks a little bit like of a bluish green? Is that how I would want to describe it? But yeah, there definitely is a difference in there. One of the things that I want to do is, like, I have a lot of the cardstock colors. I don't have every one of them, but I would love to do, like, say a half a sheet of each cardstock, and then just, write the names on it. And then when we get new colors, then, how a lot of other demonstrators have like all those colors, and then they'll compare it, to some of the older ones. That's a work in progress. And like I said, I know that I don't have every single color. especially like in cardstock that Stampin' Up has had. So then that Luxe specialty paper. This piece measures, what does this measure? It's 5 inches by 3 3/4. Out of a piece of basic white, I die cut one of the Spotlight on Nature dies. And then to save some time, ahead of time, this is on basic white. I had stamped this image using the new Peaceful Pine ink. Again, the new inks, they are a felt pad rather than a foam pad that we currently have. So they stamped really, really well. I didn't have to press the ink into the pad like you do with the foam. So these were stamped in the Peaceful Pine and die cut. So we're going to do some coloring with these. So this is all the pieces that I have for this one. The sample card that I did, I mean, I got the insert for it, but I didn't even stamp anything on it. Like I said, I was running out of time. And so it was like there was no time to take pictures or anything like that. So, oh yeah. All right. So there's our card base. I'm not going to put the inside in yet because I may be stamping something on there before I put it in there. So I'm going to take my designer series paper here. I'm going to add some seal if my cellophane would like to stay on the roller. Hold on. Keeps on wanting to come off. All right. So this is going to be centered. And I need to see what I'm doing here. Hold on. Trying to use my grid paper here to make sure that get it straight. Okay. All right. So we got that. Let's see. Let me bring in some scrap paper. And I'm going to do a little bit of coloring on my Lily of the Valley. So for my leaves, I'm going to use the light Peaceful Pine. Oops. Don't want to get too heavy-handed with this. Don't want it to bleed outside of the stamped line. Okay, let's do that again on this one. Yeah, I know that, I mean, I had mentioned this before that, you know, for me personally, there are just not enough hours in the day. And I don't know I don't know, lately it is just feeling like time is like flying. Now, when it comes to work, you know, I don't mind the day going faster as long as I'm not, you know, on a crunch time on needing to get something done. You know, there have been a lot of changes, so now it's like I mentioned that I handle the leave of absence stuff, and that, you know, my my manager, she had left not this past Friday, but the Friday before. And so now it's all on me. So it's like they come at you every which way. And so it's like, yeah. Oh, you know, I have this. I meant to show this. So so when Terry was here, we had met up with Andrea. This was actually the evening of when we went to Graceland. And so this was a card that Andrea had done up for Yvonne. So the paper, the designer series paper, I am not 100% sure which paper this is, but it was all black and white, and Andrea had, I believe she would have colored it in. Yeah, she colored it in. Um, and yeah, she just heat embossed with the white embossing powder, three of the greetings on the card. So a very simple card. Andrea's cards are pretty much, you know, they're not my cards. Let's put it that way. She likes to do ones that basically it doesn't take you hours on end or whatever to get it done. She kind of likes doing the clean and simple style. So I had that sitting there and and I realized I wanted to show you that ahead of time. Then I got light gray granite. And with this, I'm going to, whoops, let's use the other end. I'm going to use my bullet tip and just basically where I want to add the shadow. Now, gray granite is actually lighter than the light smoky slate. So that is why I'm not using smoky slate to color on here. Even the light one is darker. So and let's do the other one. So I'm shading the sides that are closer to the center of my stem. And then over here. Okay. Yes, we love our Andrea. She's actually, she's prepping for a craft fair. So she's working on cards and all that, for that. And she's actually showing an interest too in doing videos as well. You know, just trying to figure out, you know, the setup and everything. And again, we also love our custom card maker too. If you have not had a chance, she did put a video out there last week. Last week's live, I did pin. No, when she was here, the live that she had done, I think was that on the 26th. I do have a link to her channel and the video is out there. She did an amazing job on it. Good job. She, you know, everybody's doing their own kind of thing, and that's fine. You don't have to do as much as I do because I think I've scared all of them from doing what I'm doing because they see how, you know, stressed out I get and trying to get everything done, plus working, you know, a full-time um with that. Because let's put it this way, Stampin' Up definitely is not paying the bills. So just gonna put that out there. Okay, so for my inside, so my sample card, like I said, because I was running out of time, I did not put anything in it. And so we're gonna put something in it now. So in here we have, you know, there's the stamped image of the stem with the lily of the valley blooms on it. You have your outline of your leaf, and then here's your filler part. And then of course here's the smaller one that we just that we're using for this card. So the greetings in here: so grateful for you, happy for you, to a forever kind of friend. Happy birthday, a little thanks, and to one of the nicest people I know. So this one's not per se going to have a greeting on the front. We're going to put our greeting on the inside. Um, yeah, so with Terry is not going to be doing strictly Stampin' Up stuff. She's got a lot of different brands and all that, so she's basically using what she has. And I don't think she has like a set day and time in which she's going to be doing her videos, and they're not lives. They're pre-recorded. So yeah, if you subscribe to her channel, you know, just click that notification bell and it'll let you know when she posts another video. So on this one, I think, let's see, what does my card look like? Let's do, okay. If I do on the outside, see, I can't really stamp directly on that specialty paper because the ink will rub off where the image is. Let's see. Let's see something here. Will it fit in a nested essential die? Let's see. Because if I do to a forever friend, it's not going to make sense if I put inside just so grateful for you, because they kind of go together. So let me just see if I got a die here that will be big enough, but not too big, because we don't want it too big, and that's going to be a little too big. Yeah, none of these. I may have to just cut a piece to then stamp on it. I thought this would work. The other one I can try is the perennial postage ones. You'll let everyone, oh, you'll let everyone know? Okay. Let's see if perennial postage. So there are some squares in here. Let me see, will that be too big? We can make it work with that one. So let me put these back in here, and I'm going to quickly go grab a scrap piece of basic white, and I'm going to quickly go and die cut one of these. Okay. Scrap, and let's move that and that. I have a Griffin, what do you call it, Empress, and I'm cheating. I do have a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. However, when you're doing as much of die cutting that I'm doing, let's save the arm and the shoulder and do it this way. All right. And you can see I was in such a rush, I didn't even get that cleaned off of there. Okay, so I'm going to leave that because I'm actually going to need, I'm going to need another one when I go to finish up the other card, because I hadn't even taken pictures of it yet. All right, so let me move this out of the way and kind of condition my stamp. I'm just going to rub my finger over it because with the photopolymers, they have that film on them. And we're going to pull in our Peaceful Pine. So again, it is magnetized. And you can, now we've told you with these pads, these ink pads, it's tap, tap, tap. On the felt ones, you can mush. You can mush, mush, mush if you want to. Because you won't, as long as you're going straight on it, you're not going to get your ink all the way around your block. But anything's possible. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp right in the middle. Okay, so we have a we do have a greeting for the front of our card. Now, on the inside, I will stamp another one of these Lily of the Valleys. And then I want So Grateful for You. So we'll put this on the inside. And again, we're going to kind of stick with our Peaceful Pine color here. And let's see, this is block big enough. Don't look it. Let's get a bigger block. And then I'll ink this up. And I will stamp that right there. And then we'll take So Grateful for You. Now it is inky because you can kind of see like these little, like, I don't know, like dots in there, but it does stamp, where you don't really see that, and when it dries, it is going to dry a little bit lighter. So we got an inside and a greeting for the outside of our card. All right, so now let me move this out of the way. I will bring in my scrap paper, and I will bring in my, what do you call it? My, I almost said Stampin' Right. These aren't Stampin' Right markers. I'll bring in my blends, and we'll go ahead and we'll color this in. So when the pads are like really, really inky, when you go to use them, usually you can really tell when there's too much ink. But with this, even though it looked like it was a lot of ink, when it dries, it it's like as if it's stamped, it just stamped perfectly. It doesn't look like it's over inked. And you can kind of tell there's kind of like that shadow, or that fuzzy little shadow that's around the edges of the stamped image, but it stamps really, really well. So when the time comes and those new the new ink pads come out, I'll probably get them. I will tell you that unless, I hit the lottery, I don't think I will be ordering them all at the same time, because yeah, that is a pretty hefty amount. Because again, these ink pads, now the ones we currently have right now, I think, I could be wrong, that here in the US they are $11. The new ones, the magnetic ones, are 14. So yeah, at that price, it's not, yeah, it's not going to happen right away. Okay, and again, all the other ink colors, there's absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, you don't need to replace your ink pads at all. But just starting in 2028, when they do their color refresh, then that's when they're going to go to this new style. So again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what we have right now. Some people like it because it's easier to open. One of the things they never ever addressed on that, when we got like our stamp apparatus, now we got a stamp positioner, which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed or not, but there are actually some additional magnets that you can purchase for it. They don't have like another plate or anything like that, but they do have an extra magnets if you if you want those. All right, so we're going to take this now. The inside of our card, of this card anyway, has something in it. So on top of this, what I'm going to do, I am going to take some Winkostella, and I'm going to add it to my flowers. And I'm going to do the same thing for the ones that are going to go on the front of my card. So add a little bit of bling. Okay, then kind of dry this a little bit here. And then before I close the card, I'm just going to put my paper over that. So then that way when I close it, I won't have all this Wink of Stella on the inside of my card. So let me do that. All right. So then my Spotlight on Nature die. Add some adhesive. And I'm going to put that right here in the center. Well, actually, wait. Before I do that, let me take my grading piece. And I'm going to stick that right down here like so. Then we will put this shirt straight. And then we'll put that right there. All right, and then I'm going to take these two and I'm going to get my dimensionals and we're going to pop these up. So let's see, we got this, this, and let's get a little one. Add one there and then one up here. Well, I can tell you, yeah, I was just going to say that that's the route that Terry went. As a matter of fact, for her birthday, I got her the re-inkers for the new ink colors and a thing of uninked spots to add to her collection. It was funny because at I think it was like, was it Friday? That Friday when she was here, that she was going through well, for you, I think the reason why you like the cubes too, Terry, is because your craft space is kind of limited, so it's what you have space for. That just means that you can fit more in there, right? But anyway, so she was going through the catalog and she was saying, oh, it's like, okay, she wanted this, she wanted this. And, of course, she didn't order anything, until after she saw what she had gotten for her birthday. So, yep. So I saved her some money. And I'm sure she probably already has those little ink cubes all inked up and she's got them. I don't know how she's got them marked, but I also got her the sample pack of all the new in colors in the cardstock. Okay. All right, so then this other one, we're going to pop this one up too. Now, with this one, I don't want to put anything over on this side because it's going to lay over the top of that. So I am going to just put my finger right there so I don't put one down there. And then a little one. Okay. We'll do one more. I think right there. Okay. One of the other things I have to also, that I got to really do is I got to do like some meal prepping because, again, when you do these lives, we don't have dinner until after I'm done. And by the time I'm done, then it's kind of late. And one or two things happens. I don't feel like taking the time to cook. And then half the time we're eating processed stuff. So, yeah. There's a lot of things that I got to do. I just want to know where I'm going to have the time to do it. That's the issue. I mean, this space that I'm in is, there's a lot of stuff in this space. And at some point, I got to do something with it. Like purge some stuff. Because I have stamp sets. I ain't going to tell you how many stamp sets I have, because there's a whole lot. And I figure out how I'm going to store all this, because now that they're what do you call it, discontinuing stuff too quickly now. um yeah, it's a whole process to have to intermingle things. I have alphabetical on these shelves, so I gotta figure something out. All right, so I want to bring in my linen thread, and I am going to do a double stranded bow. I do have the fan on. I don't know if you guys can, if it's, oh, well, one, I don't know if you can hear it, or two, if it's like causing any kind of interference or not. So I think Yvonne forgot, even though she said something. I think she's probably watching TV with hubby. Yeah, so she didn't come this weekend. This was a weekend that Don was off, so she's spending the time with him. And then actually, I honestly don't know when I'm going to see Yvonne again, because like I had mentioned earlier, next week I definitely have to get that video and live done for Friday, because Saturday I got that memorial thing that I'm helping my friend out. By the way, the same friend that works at that doctor's office that I went to, and actually, yeah, she did that to me. Yeah, she did that to me. Um, so she did good. She didn't, I don't like needles at all, but I just look away, and we're kind of gabbing. So then, I don't, yeah, it's done and over with. And I always have to ask her ahead of time, are you mad at me for anything? Because, yeah, we don't need her to really stab me, you know what I'm saying? But she's a good egg. She's a good egg. All right, so my embellishments, I'm going to use the ones that come with this sheet. And so for this one, I'm going to use these white ones. So little sparkles that are in it are iridescent. So they're really pretty. So we're going to add a large one there. So there's a large and there's a small. So there's no medium size in this. And we'll put this one right there. Okay. Move that over there. Move that over there. There is the first card. So very simple, not bad for the last one and throwing it together. But again, on the one that I did do, the sample one, you can see I don't have the greeting on there. And of course, there's nothing on the inside. So I'll add that stuff later on after all is said and done. So let me move that out of the way. And we'll get this out of the way. And then let's bring in the stuff for our second card. Okay, so for this one, I am also using, like I said, when it comes to a suite, I like to use everything that is in the suite when I do my lives. So this one, I'm using the embossing folder. So it's not part of the suite. Hold on, let me get some water. Oh, okay. So Terry takes her little ink spots and she puts it in the 5x7 plastic photo boxes, and then she puts them in her Alex drawer. Did I mention last week that I'm very sad? We no longer have an IKEA here in Memphis because last Sunday was the final day. Okay. You know, I don't know if it's that medicine. I really don't. It's the only one that I'm kind of taking. I don't know. I mean, when I took it this morning, I've been fine all day and I don't know. I feel out of sorts. This is why I do not like prescription medication. I just don't. And I definitely have to get off of it because some of the side effects and long-term deal, yeah, I got to do what I can to get off of it. Okay. Back to the cards. So for my card base, so one of the colors that's in this paper too is Coastal Cabana. Now it's not part of the suite, but there is a package of two-tone cardstock that's in there, and the two-tone cardstock. What I love about with that now, that's something that kind of came over from close to my heart. um, the two-tone cardstock, hold on, let's go back. Okay, so the two-tone cardstock is basically it's white core paper. And so you on one side the color is a little bit darker, and then on the other side it's a little bit lighter. So the color's actually printed on this cardstock. This cardstock is not as thick as our regular cardstock. It's kind of somewhere in between the designer series paper and cardstock. What I like to do with this is I'll use an embossing folder on it and then use a sanding block on it, like very carefully, and sand like the raised edges, and then it kind of gives you, it shows some of that white core. So with this suite, there is also a coordinating scrapbooking workshop kit called Life in Bloom. So there is designer series paper. Now there are some patterns in here that are not in the actual pack of the paper. So there is some of that, and then there's some extra like one-sided papers. They do give you like a few sheets of the two-tone cardstock. There's like stickers and pre-cut images. Then they have the willow white cardstock that you would use for your base. There's instructions, there's photo placeholders in it. And in addition, you can get the designer series paper with the sticker sheet. There is a bundle called Life in Bloom. That's like an additional one that you can use for the scrapbooking kit. And also for cards. And then the two-tone cardstock, you do have Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, Coastal Cabana, and Basic Beige. So in here you're getting, it's $12, and I believe you're getting 2 sheets of each color. So I like the color collections of that because with the two-tone cardstock, when you purchase a single color, you're getting 12 sheets in each pack. I don't need that many, so those combination packs are they're perfect. And if I want more of this color, I can just simply order another pack of it, and then I should be good for a while. All right, so on this, okay, so let me back up. Card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, Coastal Cabana, and you can see there is a difference in the color. So this piece is, again, this is the Coastal Cabana two-tone cardstock. On the dark side, I had embossed it with that, was that Floral Sprayed 3D embossing folder. Uh, this measures 5 1/4, no, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, so it's the size of my whole card front. I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on that. For my inside basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. And then some out of, let's see, out of Bubble Bath, there is this one die in here that does this little intricate block, which I think is really, really neat. I die cut 2 of those out of, oh, look who joined us. Did you forget, Yvonne? Yvonne, did you forget? You were probably watching TV and eating dinner with hubby. You did. And and here I saw your response to my email too. And it wasn't all that long ago. Oh, and there's Don too. Hey. Okay, so I die cut 2 of those out of Bubble Bath cardstock. Then out of the Stylish Shapes dies, I die cut the largest circle, and then this is not the smallest, but I believe it's the next one up. So I got that. Then this Lily of the Valley image and the set of leaves. I stamped this in smoky slate ink and die cut those. There is a filler stamp for these larger leaves, so I am going to use that photopolymer. It's going to make it easy for me, hopefully, it's going to make it easy for me to get that lined up. And so I'm going to do those leaves in Lemon Lime Twist ink. And then my flowers, I got both the dark and the light Bubble Bath, and then the dark Lemon Lime Twist. Okay, and then let's see what else I need. So I got my silicone craft sheet, my little silicone little pastry brush. Very inexpensive. This is not like the really big one, but I did trim down the bristles on this a little bit, so this is perfect for adding your liquid glue to your intricate dies. All right, so let me put those aside for a moment. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this. So to do this, I'm going to open this up and do it this way, because now this sanding block, these sanding blocks came from Amazon. Again, when I, hopefully it's going to be tonight, I will have it in the description. It's one of the Non-Stampin Up products that I do have listed that I use, along with my little, what is it? What do you want to call these little fine tip glue bottles that I put my Tombow multi-purpose glue in. Okay, so I'm kind of being like, because this block is very coarse, and again, it's not as thick as the regular cardstock, so it is going to tear it. So let me kind of dump that in there. Okay, so there we go. So there's just a little bit of the white showing on there. All right, so I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. And Yvonne, I did show the card that Andrea had made for you. All right. Then this card is going to go this way. So the big flower bloom is going to go over to the left side, so it's not upside down. And I'm going to glue this down to my card base. Terry was here. There she is. I'm going to say, yeah, Terry's been here. I think Terry was here before I was. I was like down to the wire on getting the last project done. and actually was missing something, and it's actually the first card that we ended up doing, and we ended up adding a little something extra to it, and so it looks good now. All right, so now because this is the same size, I'm going to place that down and press that down. So you can put the glue on your embossed piece, or you can put it on your card base. It doesn't matter. The one thing you would want to be careful now, first off, if you're putting a piece of designer series paper or cardstock or whatever on the full size of your card base, I don't advise this. Use the liquid glue because it's going to give you a little bit of that wiggle room to kind of put it in place. If you end up using this, it's going to stick really well. It's going to tear this probably when you go to use it. And yeah, you're going to be pulling it and it's going to crinkle up the paper. So liquid glue is your best bet when you're doing that. All right, then let's bring our silicone craft sheet in. We're going to bring in these 2 bubble bath pieces. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Some people will still like add some liquid glue to these, but then, you know, you risk, if you're a little heavy-handed with the glue, you'll end up with glue all over the place and you don't want it oozing out. You can also use the adhesive sheets, put that on your cardstock first and then die cut it, and then basically it becomes a sticker. Or you can do it this way where you get your silicone craft sheet, your liquid glue, just put a little bit on your mat, take your little pastry brush here, kind of swirl it all up in your glue, and then hold your piece in place, and then just tap that glue on there. So I want to hold it in place because if it shifts around, you risk getting glue on the front part of it. So I want to take my circle here because this is going to go right behind it. So I kind of want to place this down just as a placeholder so I can see where to put this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a block and I'm going to place that on there just to kind of hold that down. And then let's get the rest of our glue and do our other piece. Okay, and let's move that out of the way. Move that. Kind of put that in the middle. And then I can move that up just a little bit. There we go. So I'll put that on there to kind of hold that down. Then I'm going to take my scrap paper here, bring this back in, and we do not have, unfortunately, we do not have a Coastal Cabana Stampin' Blend. We did have Summer Splash, but that is now a retired color. So the closest I can come to is the dark Pool Party. So I'm going to add some splatter on here. Now, because these brush tips are not like our Stampin' Right markers, yeah, let's move this out of the way. Put that over there. If you try to flick this in your cap, you are going to destroy the tip of this marker. So I'm going to use my bone folder and I'm going to tap. Now, you're not going to get your really big splotches of the ink on there, but there is like this really fine splatter of them. Well, you can see it a little tiny bit, but we got that just to add a little something to that. All right, so now let's take this stuff, and then the inside, I actually don't have anything stamped in the inside. So we'll wait to put that in our card. All right, so then I'm going to take my leaves here, and I got my Pierce mat. I have my lemon lime twist ink. All right. What embossing folder is that from? Glad you asked. This is the one that is part of the suite, the Floral Spray 3D embossing folder. I think you already made the comment that you really liked that one, that you wanted that one. All right, so for this, like I mentioned, there is a stamp that is the fill for the leaf. Got that right there. So let me get my block. And let's see, I want to make sure that I have it in the right direction. I think that's the way it goes. Yeah, it goes that way. Now I did press the ink in this, so hopefully it's not outrageously inky. And I'm going to try and line this up. Not bad at all. And then, so for the other leaf, you do not have to flip this stamp over. And then we come in. I think it shifted a little bit, but that still looks good. It's okay. You can't even really tell, actually. All right, so we have that. We're going to set that aside. Then I'm going to bring in my Smoky Slate ink. And I want the greeting that says a little thanks. Let's get a block. Am I pixelating? Oh, not again. I know it's doing this little bit of focusing in and out. You know, the crazy thing is that I ended up getting this text message from Comcast saying that they were saying that there was something up with the internet or whatever. I don't know what they were talking about because it was fine. I wasn't having any issues, but they said what they were doing was enhancing it. Well, if I'm pixelating and having issues, then you didn't enhance anything. You just ended up making things worse. All right, so a little thanks and Smoky Slate ink, and stamp that right in the middle of my small stylish shaped circle. Now, all the pictures of these cards, I will be also doing the PDF for this. It'll have, and I'm spinning. Why? No, no. Hold on. Let me refresh my laptop. We don't want this nonsense. No nonsense. Let's see. Come on. Let's get into live chat. Yeah, I see it pixelating. My internet, my Wi-Fi thing is showing it's full. All right, let's keep going. Done with that. All right. So we do need to color this though. So let me move this out of the way. Let me bring my scrap paper in. And then let's see, I'm going to take my light bubble bath and I'm going to color in all my little flowers. So tomorrow is Mother's Day. We're supposed to be getting rain and I think some storms too, I think. It's supposed to start raining in the afternoon. So of course in the afternoon, after church, I'm going to do a little bit of running around. My friend Heather, she wants to get some of the items that she needs for next Saturday. And we're almost there. So of course the this bubble bath is going to dry a little bit lighter, so I just wanted to get that color on there. Then I'm going to take my dark lemon lime twist and I'm going to do all these stems, so all these little things holding our flowers. Okay, and then I'm going to go down this whole stem. All right, and then we'll do these other ones. So if you had won a card, do I want to say two weeks ago when Terry was here, those cards actually went out last Sunday, so they went out a little late. So if you had won one, it's on its way. Let's see. I got a message earlier from Becky, and it seems like her post office is holding her mail hostage. So she didn't get the card from when that she won from when Terry was here, but I did tell her that that did go out a little late. But then she also won one, that Easter Joy Suite that I did, and that was back in April. She had won a card on that one, and she had not received that one yet. So, but yeah, so the cards from tonight, they will go out in the mail tomorrow. All right, so now I got my dark bubble bath, and I'm just going to come in and add a little bit on the tops of these flowers. There's a lot of little ones. There actually are now in the card making world, you know, you can have your flowers any color that you want. And Lily of the Valley actually is, I mean, the most known is the white, but they actually come in pink too. Now, next Friday, that big suite that, is it Heirloom Blooms, I think it is. It's the first suite in the new catalog. That is what I'm going to be using next Friday. And it's, like I said, it is going to be Friday. It has to be Friday because there's no way I can end up doing it on Saturday, because that's going to be a busy day. And I mean, I would be done before 6, but I'm not going to put that on me to rush and race and all that other stuff. All right, so we have that. What I'm going to do is on, let's see, on the back of this, let me get my other silicone mat. Let me put this down right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to attach that stem of flowers to my leaves. So put a little bit of glue on the leaves. And I'll place that right there in the center. And then these little flowers, I want them to actually be on the front of my leaves. My little flowers, I think. Did I say leaves? Okay, so I have that. Then I'm going to add some dimensionals. And if you hear a bunch of racket, evidently they're home upstairs. And they decided that the room above me is where they want to hang out. No stress here, guys. No stress. No stress. All I have to say is that there are some people that live in this particular building that they do not need to renew their leases. I will tell you that, because the ones across from me, it was like 1, maybe almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and they couldn't carry on in their apartment. They decided to bring it out into the breezeway right across from me, and it took a lot for me not to go and open my door and tell them. Well, I'm not going to repeat what I would have told them, but it certainly would not have a good night. Ooh, Deborah, it's supposed to be in the 40s. Actually, Deborah, you got 2 cards, because you had a card when Terry was here, and then you also won from last weekend too. So did you get both of the cards, or did you just get the one? All right, so let's add one there. And kind of hold our flower image to our leaf. So I want to get my dimensional to kind of cover both of them. Let's see, where else do we need to pop one in? Like right there. Okay, I think we're good. Maybe one more, just to hold this down so it doesn't get pulled off of the card. Okay, so we'll put that there. Put that there. And we will take our inside here, add our adhesive, and pull the cellophane back. I don't know what it is with these refills, but it seems like as of late, I've been having some issues with them. All right, so we'll center that like so. Close that up. All right. Then I'm going to take this piece, and this is not popped up. Okay, and then place that in the middle like so. All right, and then we're going to take, so when I was working on these cards, after I got them put together, because the embellishments only have like those 3 colors, I didn't know what colors I wanted to use up front on my cards. So what I did was I put the cards together, and then after I had them all together, then from there I determined which color of the embellishments I wanted to put on that card. So instead of pulling in a lot of extra products, which, I mean, everything, you can always use something that's not in the suite. I try to kind of keep it to what's in the suite, only because when you start listing all the list of supplies, it starts to like in you for YouTube, when you do the description, you're limited to like 5,000 characters. So when I'm adding all of that stuff, it's like, okay, well, now I got too many characters, and then I have to kind of eliminate some stuff or abbreviate some stuff. And so I try to limit. Okay, so for my a little thanks, I am going to take a dimensional. I'm going to place that right here. And then I'm going to take my a little thanks, but I'm going to take like right up here. I'm going to add a little bit of glue, because this is going to be the part that is going to overlap on top of that leaf. So we'll stick that right there. Okay. And then on this one, oh, I did not, you know what? I didn't do it on my sample one, but I should have. Let's bring in the Wink of Stella. Let's add some to our little flowers. Ooh, hi, Enika. I just read your comment about having a drought, your country's having a drought. Yeah, I don't think we're under a drought anymore. At one point we were. When you got these storms that come through and dump all that rain. So was it last weekend when we had severe storms? Again, a shout out to Froggy, because she follows the weather that happens here too. And while we're at it, let's just add it to this, because I didn't add it to my sample card. She always checks in to see how we're doing. Thank you, Froggy. See, the problem is whenever there's severe weather, one of the other things that kind of sucks up my time and I don't focus on what I need to do is when Ryan Hall goes live. And yeah, the weather nerd in me needs to see what's going on and what's happening. Now, especially if we're going to be in the line of storms. But that last one, we didn't get anything severe. Now, just south of us, right over the border in Mississippi, that was a different story. I don't know if they actually got a tornado or not, but they did have some straight line winds, which could be just as bad. All right, embellishments. We're going to use the Coastal Cabana ones. Gotta love Coastal Cabana. As Dina says, it's the color that lets us know God loves us. And let's see. And I need one more small one. And I'm going to pop that one right up there. Okay, so let me get that out of the way. There is the second card. We got one more to go. Wow. And I see what time it is. Okay, there's the second card. All right. Last card. So this one I decided on really going with the designer series paper. And then there's also some detailed dies on this one that you can create your blooms. So that's what we're going to do with this one. So a lot of die cutting and everything was done ahead of time. Let me get this out of the way. So my card base is Granny Apple Green. It measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. There is a piece of basic white for the inside that's 4.25 by 4. I have a piece of Pretty Peacock that measures 5.5 by 3 7/8. That one panel that I showed you from the designer series paper where you had the image that went all the way around the border. I had cut on the right side of the paper, and so it's 5.5 by 3 3/4. And then ahead of time, I have a piece of Pretty Peacock. It's 3/4, and it's about like 4 inches. This is going to be trimmed down. Ahead of time, I did stamp the happy birthday greeting in Versamark ink and then heat embossed using the white embossing powder. Then out of a scrap piece of basic white. Now there's two different ways that you can do this. So in the dies, now I didn't do it this way. So in the dies, you do have one die that has the 3 blooms right here. What I did was I took, so here's the stem with the blooms on it. I die cut 2 of those out of Granny Apple Green, and then I really just focused on the blooms themselves, and then I die cut 2 more out of basic white, and I'm just going to snip these off, and then I'm going to pop them up on top of these green ones. So you can do it that way, or you can use that additional die and then just die cut some of these out and then pop them up on, or pop them up or glue them, either or, on top of the Granny Apple Green ones. So 2 of the Granny Apple Green full stems, and then 2 of just the flowers in basic white. Then there's larger detailed leaves, so I cut 2 of those out of garden green. And then 1 of those decorative images, just like what I used on the second card, but this one is basic white. All right, so that's all our pieces. So we're going to start off, I got my sample, let me open it up. We're going to start with stamping our inside piece, and then we can get that put in there. So we got this, and let's see, I need, what do I need? I need both Pretty Peacock and Granny Apple Green. All right, so Granny Apple Green. And let me get my chamois here. Our little, one thing I don't like about, look how nasty that looks. Looks very nasty. So let me just quickly get the ink off of these things. It's very squeaky. Yeah, that's, I'm sorry that I started later, Carol. Yeah, that's the one of the things that I thought of too, you know, because some of you that are on Eastern time, that it is later. Have a good night, and happy Mother's Day, Carol. I hope you have a really wonderful, blessed, and peaceful day. And you get spoiled too. All right. So I'm going to take my smaller image, ink that up, and I'm going to stamp that right down here in my bottom right-hand corner. Okay. And then I want the greeting that says, "To one of the nicest people I know." And let's see, we need a block. Which block do I want? This one. Let's close this up. Pretty peacock. And I'm going to stamp that right down here. So you don't always have to take your inside grading and stamp it right in the middle. You can stamp it right there on the bottom as well. That just gives you more room if you want to write. Now, if you're not one to have a lot to say inside your card, you can stamp it in the middle. You can do that too. All right. Let's clean these really quick so that way we don't get any ink on anything. I will mention, you guys probably already know, what do I want to say? I do have linked up at the top the link to, hold on, I got things all over the place here, to the Google spreadsheet for the drawing for one of tonight's cards. And right now, ooh, why is that there? Hold on. We got an extra column. Let's see, let's delete that column. Okay, so right now, Sharon, Terry, Deborah, and Froggy are on there. So if there's anybody else who would like to be in for the drawing for one of tonight's cards, you do have to be here when I go to do the drawing. Click on the link that's pinned up at the top of the chat box. And if you have any issues, just say something, and what do you call it? Somebody would be more than happy to help out and add your name to it. Okay, and it doesn't matter where in the world you live, I can send cards anywhere. All right, so with this, I'm only going to color one part, and that's going to be the leaves. And I'm going to do that in my light Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blend. So let's bring this in. Open that. I know, it's really weird. My light Granny Apple Green, it doesn't smell like an alcohol marker. It actually smells, I don't know, it kind of smells like an apple, to be honest with you. I find that kind of interesting. I think it would be cool if our markers actually had scents to them. I think that'd be cool, other than alcohol, that is. All right, so we got that. That's colored in. Let's fold and burnish our card base. All right, we'll get inside piece. All right, and then I will put that right inside like so. All right, so let me set that aside because we have to add a little something something to our designer series paper. So I am going to place this here. I am going to move all of that stuff out of the way. I am going to bring in my, where is it? There it is. My dark Pretty Peacock Stampin' Blend. And again, because I don't, well, you're going to see, that's what my brush tip looks like. That's what your brush tip will look like in no time if you were to flick the cap. Now, that didn't happen from me flicking the cap. That was probably wear and tear from coloring embellishments and ribbon. So I'm going to add a little bit of splatter to my designer series paper. And when the brush looks like that, you do get some, ow, don't hit my finger. That, ow. hurt. Don't do that. All right. So there we go. So we got a little, and I got splatter all over. As long as I don't have it all over my white shirt, will be good. All right. So now I'm going to take my designer series paper and we're going to add it to our pretty peacock piece. And it's going to line up from top to bottom, and then there's going to be like this little of the pretty peacock on either side of this paper. And I'll tell you, this paper is pretty. I love the colors that are in it. And let's put that. So again, very small border. And we don't have much of anything of an overhang. Okay, let's bring the card back in. And we'll add some more glue. Voodoo, is that what it is? All right. Then, let's see, we're going to line this up. Okay, we're good. And press that down. Okay, so there we go. There is our card base. So now, let's see what is next on the list. So we are going to take our, what do I want to put down first? Let's bring this in. There's something satisfying when you can do this with your glue after it's dried. Pick up all those little glue goobers. Or you can take a piece of Scotch tape or packing tape and just put it on there and it'll pull it right up. And then of course I got all this glue in my brush. So kind of pull some of that out. Yeah, and if you just mash your bristles into a piece of tape, it'll also pull out like all of this glue too. Come on, get out of there. Okay. All right. So we're going to put our leaves down first because we are going to place, let's see, kind of have want it this way. This way. All right, so first we're going to take our piece of white, the white detail die, some glue. Like sometimes I have to think, okay, I just made this card not that long ago, and I got to remember, okay, what steps, what goes down first. All right, so I'm going to dab some glue onto the piece, like so. And then this is going to go down here like so. All right, then Let's see, let's see, let's see. We're going to take, these pieces are going to go right here. Now I do need to trim this a little bit. These stems, do have to trim them down a little bit. Okay. All right, so then these are going to go down. These are going to go down like this, but I have to kind of get my leaf in there because I want some of these to go on top. So I got to figure out how I want to put these down. All right, more glue. All right. Now I'm not going to go crazy with it on the blooms only because some of these I want to actually overlap on my leaf. Now I can't get up. Okay. All right, so this leaf is going to kind of go over here. So I want to kind of place this, stuck to me, like right over here. Okay. And then our other one. Now if I can just get it like on the middle part, that's fine. And up at the very top, it's these lower ones that I need to kind of overlap it on the leaf itself. All right, and then this one, I'm gonna go right about here. All right, all sticky. Let me move this out of the way. I'm gonna bring in my other one. And we're gonna do our leaves. All right. I think the problem with UPS is I think they eliminated some jobs. I think that's what the problem is. All right, so this leaf is going to go here, but again, I want to tuck it a little bit under these flowers like so. Okay, and then I can come in with just a tiny bit of glue, not much, just add a little bit. Plus I got little glue goobers on the tip of my bottle here. Okay. All right, and then our other one. This is our Putsy card. This is the one that's a little bit, there's a little bit more to it. Okay, so my other leaf is going to kind of go under like so. Now I'm not worried about this gap right here because my little grading piece is going to go right over that. So you're not going to see all of that openness right there. All right. Tap this. Okay. Come on, pick up. And this one is going to get tucked under as well. Okay. Press that down. Tiny bit of glue just to hold that down. All right. So that's all the sticky, messy part with the liquid glue. So we're done with the liquid glue. So let's get both of these out of the way. Put that right there. All right, then, so all these little white flowers here, again, you can die cut this stem again in basic white or whatever color you want, and you can snip them, or you can use this other die. Now it's not going to be exactly the same size as all these, but then there's another die that's got these three right here that you can die cut these a few times, and then you can put them on top, whether you want to glue them or if you want to pop them up. What I elected to do was to pop all of these little blooms up. So I leave them intact. I didn't cut them out, so that way I know which one's going to go to what. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to use my mini dimensionals. And for most of these, it'll take the full size dimensional. So I'm just going to place them over my Granny Apple Green ones. Oof. I just saw what time it, well, I don't know what time it is, but I see how long I've been at it. We're almost done, guys, almost done. And again, I am so sorry that, I've had to reschedule it on because I can't get it done during the week. I really need to I think I just need to manage my time better. But, you know, sometimes it's not so easy. All right, so there's two of these blooms that are a little bit smaller, so I have to take my little mini dimensional and I have to cut it in half. All right, so now that I've gotten that, let me now get my scissors. Actually, I'm going to take my paper backings off first, so then that way, see, it's not stuck down fully. So then that way, as I trim these little blooms, I can put them right in the spot that they need to go into. These things don't want to come off my fingers. And I think, is this it? Nope. Just got the ones over here. I said, this is definitely the putziest card of them all. All right, now, so basically I'm just going to look at the ones that I want, and I'm just going to snip. And then I'm going to place these down. Right over on top. Let me see. Is Sharon leaving us for the night? Let's see. This one goes right. Hold on. Yeah, it goes right there. Now this one, you got to snip a little bit more on it. It's putsy, but it's pretty when it's done. So this one. And then we're almost done with this one stem. Yes, there definitely is. But there's really a wow factor to this one. I kind of like, you know, these flower sets that have, you know, the dies where you can do like the detailed. There's, now there's, I don't know if it's still there or not. It was something that I kind of saw in one of the videos that Stampin' Up! Did. They have, there's an area in, at the home office where it's kind of like a history, and so they have all the stuff, and there was a display, and again, I don't know if it's still there or not. It was kind of like this what is it, like a shadow box frame. It was pretty big, and they created like this whole big floral thing with all of the, you know, like the floral building dies like this, and it was so neat. So I have a lot of the sets that you can build like this. I think I think the only one I don't have is the one with the orchid. Uh, but I thought that was so neat. I would love to do something like that, of course, on a much smaller scale. All right. We're getting there. After this one, there's 2 more blooms. Let's see. This one goes right here. Oops, you are not lined up. There we go. Actually, did I just do this wrong? Yes, I did. You don't belong there. You don't belong there. You belong right there. All right. Of course, these aren't exactly the right scissors to use. At some point, we'll have scissors again. I mean, not that I really need any, because I do have plenty. Okay, and then we got one more. What's that? Oh, yeah, that's why I did not cut these, you know, in advance. But there we go. So there's all the little blooms on there. Now we're going to take, what do we want? We want some white baker's twine. Now we have, you know, the pack that the essentials that has black, the white, and all that. When the white twine was going away, when they were doing away with it, I bought lots and lots of these spools of it. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to pull in, and that's what I'm going to use. So I am going to create, just like my first one, a double stranded bow. Okay, and then my loops are going to be a little bit bigger because we're going to have this kind of like sitting here, and our little greeting piece is going to go right over it. So I want to be able to see my loops. And let me get some glue dots, and then we're going to trim these ends a little bit. Okay, glue dot. And then I'm going to place that right here in the middle, because again, we're going to cover, actually, let me move that down just a little bit. Move it down a little bit, okay. Then we're going to take this piece, and I'm just going to angle cut on either side, like so. And then dimensionals. I'm going to put one on either side of this knot. And then I'm going to put one on either end. Oh, the pixelation, come on. I'm blurry. Yeah, I can see that on my thing. Hold on. Let me see what happens when I do this. I refresh my screen. Let me see if it looks any better, because what I see through the phone looks fine. If you refresh your screen, it'll come back clear. Yeah, I guess that's YouTube's way of saying, yeah, we don't want you to go any longer than you need to. All right, so now I want to make sure I get this straight. So I'm going to place that over the top. Now we got just one more thing to add, and our embellishments. And this time I'm going to use the Granny Apple green ones. So we'll add one there. And we'll go one in here, and then another one. Sometimes these things don't want to pick up. And then we'll add one right up there. Okay. So we did it. The third card is done. So there is, I don't got nothing sticky, but there is our third card. So a birthday card. All right, so let me bring in the cards that we did tonight. So the first card was kind of like I ran out of time on getting it done. This features the new in color Peaceful Pine. That's my card base. That's what I stamped in and what I colored my leaves in. My sample card, I didn't quite have anything on the front, but I did add this greeting and die cut it using one of the perennial postage dies, and also using that Luxe specialty designer series paper. And then the inside, so the outside, to a forever kind of friend, so grateful for you. And again, I stamped that same image on the inside using my light Peaceful Pine blend to color in the leaves. So there is our first card. Our second one, we used the embossing folder, did some of the sanding on the two-tone cardstock, and then instead of a white lily of the valley, we did our pink one. So the pink in here is bubble bath, so a little thanks, and I don't have anything on the inside of this one. And then of course here is our more detailed one, kind of showcasing that designer series paper in the background. And then we have our detailed die cuts to actually put together that lily of the valley plant. All right, so I'm going to quickly go and tidy up just a little bit, kind of get this stuff out of the way. In the meantime, if you would like to be in tonight's card drawing, there is a link that's pinned up at the top of the chat box where it'll take you to a Google spreadsheet. You can add your name to it. If you have any issues at all, just say something in the chat box and somebody will be more than happy to get your name added. I think, let's see. All right, let's kind of get all of these blocks out of the way. Now I can't, I was telling Yvonne, there's just something so satisfying that, when you do your video content and you pull all this product out, that when you're done with the video and you put everything away, it's like, okay, that's something that's accomplished, but I can't put everything away yet because I still have to do the whole description stuff and the PDF. So again, there's no description stuff out there right now with any links or anything like that. So that I'm going to actually, well, we'll see. I'm going to try and do it tonight. So that's one thing I can get out of the way. So the PDF will be coming before the weekend's out. I'll have the PDF out there. Uh, the PDF is going to have picture of the projects. It's going to have all the dimensions. It's going to have all this other little detail of things that I did as far as the coloring and all that other stuff. And then, of course, in the date of that, it has a link that if you click on it, it's going to come back to this video. So if there's anything that you want to actually see, then you can follow along if you want. So I'm going to take this. So we kind of tidied up here. So card 1, 2, and 3. The way it works is that I add all your names to a wheel of names. And all right, let's see. Let's see. What do we got here? Sharon Terry. Did a name drop off? I got Sharon, Terry, Froggy, and Enika. Is there any, but there was a name that dropped off. Deborah. Oh, you took your name off. Oh, well, Deborah, you can still have your name on there. Terry left us. Okay, if Terry left us, Okay, I see where she left. Is Yvonne still here, or did she leave too? Because I know I saw that Don kind of like said goodnight, but did Yvonne leave too? So, just as an FYI, uh, Terry, aka, what is the name she's going by now? Yeah, you think I should know this, right? I should have this memorized. Um, oh, the cussing card maker. She has started a new. Oh, okay, she's there. She started a channel, and when she was here a couple of weeks ago, she had presented. She did the Scalloped Wishes bundle. Uh, for that one, was it the last one? See, I can't remember, guys. I'm so sorry. I did link in the description right up at the top, a link to her channel, and I think it was the one that she did. So she's actually done one video. So her videos are not going to be live, at least at the moment, they're not going to be live. They're going to be pre-recorded. She's already done one. I do have like a link to her channel. So if you put the cussing card maker, you will get her channel. Or if you go back either last Saturday's live or the one before that, I do have a link to her thing. And I think the last one I may have put a link saying that she did her first video. So if you want to check out what she's going to be doing, she's not necessarily going to be doing stuff that's just Stampin' Up. She's got a lot of different manufacturer companies of products that she's got. So she's going to be using a bit of everything. Uh, so, um, so if Terry left us, Deborah, are you sure you don't want to be added? Because then that means we have, what do you call it? We have just 3 people. So really. So we can add you if you want. Okay, so Vaughn doesn't want to be added. Okay, all right. So we have Sharon, Froggy, and Enika. So each one of you is going to end up with a card tonight. So let me just take your names. Let me add it to my wheel. Oh, why did Sharon go up there? Hold on. Let's fix this. And a Froggy and all right. So, okay, let me kind of move these up a little bit. Let me bring this in. Let me first move these lights. Let's see, I got my little thing here with everybody's name on it. And of course I have all of your addresses, so you don't have to send me your mailing address. So let me bring these in. Okay. I'm gonna move these over. Hopefully you can see them. I don't want to block up the tab that I need to click on. All right. So let's go to our wheel and let's spin it. Ooh, right. Oh, just almost to the line. All right, Sharon, which card would you like? And actually, let me click over so I can see what you say. So we got this one, and this one. Card number 3. Okay. All right, put that right there. And these cards, I will be sending out tomorrow. I will be dropping them off tomorrow morning. What on earth is popping up? I don't need all this stuff popping up. Go away. All right. Remove. Let's move these out of the way. And let's spin. Monica, which one would you like? Hold on, let me move this out of the way. And let me go over here. Number 1, okay. And then Froggy, you have the a little thanks. All right. So let me go and take this. Let me move this out of the way and let's kind of get this wrapped up, guys. Because I really didn't have dinner. And should I be eating dinner this late? No. But I have to eat something, right? Okay, so thank you so much for bearing with me, guys, on having to change it up again for today rather than yesterday. And thank you for taking the time this evening to join me. Sorry, it went a bit long. Normally we don't go this long, but thank you for sticking with me. So for all the mommies out there, tomorrow, well, here in the US and in some countries, tomorrow is, or maybe it is tomorrow for you guys. It's Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of the mommies out there. Even if you're a mommy to a fur baby, you're a mommy. So hope you have a wonderful, relaxing, and spoiled day. Mine may be just relaxing. Yeah, my daughter and granddaughter in a completely different state, hours and miles away. But yeah, so everybody, thank you again. Next week, my plan is before this weekend is out, is getting everything done for this video. So the PDF, all of the description stuff. I'll probably include the link to Terry's YouTube channel again. So if you want to go ahead and, give her a little love, give her a little support. YouTube has this thing that you cannot do lives using your cell phone unless you have at least 50 subscribers. So I'm trying to help her out so then that way she'll be able to use her phone to do that. And so so I'm going to be playing a lot of catch up. I got 2 Thursday videos that I have to do. The one for this past Thursday is going to be the coneflower bundle. And then the tractor one is the one that from 2 Thursdays ago. And then my monthly Christmas card inspiration, I'm going to be using the Common Bright kit. This is a kit in the kids collection that is still available. So I'm going to actually do my Christmas cards based on that. And come June 1st, I'm going to use the other one that's still available, the one with that old red truck that's been out of stock for a while. Then let's see. I got to get back on track. That's the one thing I've been mentioning. But next week, I do need to do that, my live on Friday evening, so I'm going to push myself to make sure that's going to be done. And for next Friday, I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using the Bloom Boutique suite of product. So very cool. The shimmer paper and the paper, and it's got two bundles and these big scallops. So this is what we're going to be using next Friday. Again, links will be added. If you would like a catalog, you're here in the US now working with another demo, please reach out. My email is pinned up at the top, and let me know if you would like a catalog. I'll be more than happy to get one out to you. And I think that's all I have. So everybody, if you are going to experience any bad weather and all that this coming week, please be safe, because these storms have been pretty intense in some areas. And so, yeah, so be safe, be blessed, and all the mommies out there, have a wonderful and blessed Mother's Day. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.